Head of the National Day of Remembrance, a prominent anti-vaccine advocate and nephew of President John F. Kennedy is apologizing today for invoking Anne Frank and Nazi Germany in criticizing vaccine mandates. Robert F. Kennedy Jr. made those remarks at a Washington, D.C. rally. LEX 18's Mike Valenti spoke with a Lexington Rabbi who expanded on why these comparisons are so hurtful. That's the LEX 18 big story at 11.
The images displayed inside Temple Adath Israel's Holocaust Museum convey the trauma inflicted by the Nazis on Jewish people. Thousands of miles away is a different type of museum, an Amsterdam attic frozen in time, where a young teenage girl documented life inside as she and her family hid from the Nazis.
The genius of the book, of this document that survived, to help us see the enormity of the loss, is what makes the diary such a profound and precious document.
So Rabbi David Wirtschafter thought it was a vile comparison when Robert F. Kennedy Jr. suggested that those unvaccinated against COVID-19 have less freedom than Anne Frank did.
To use the language of hiding and fleeing when no one is coming to your door with a gun telling you do this or we'll kill you is woefully inaccurate and deeply disturbing.
RFK Jr.'s remarks drew wide condemnation. The Auschwitz Memorial tweeted that the comments were a sad symptom of moral and intellectual decay. Other public figures like Congresswoman Marjorie Taylor Greene and Congressman Warren Davidson have been criticized for comparing vaccine mandates to practices in Nazi Germany.
The problem here is the language, the analogies, the comparisons that Mr. Kennedy and far too many like him chose to use.
The U.S. Holocaust Memorial Museum has warned about the increasing misuse of Holocaust history. Rabbi Wirtschafter believes RFK Jr. and others are appropriating the devastation of the Holocaust for their own political purposes. RFK Jr., who has previously invoked the Holocaust to chastise public health officials, did apologize Tuesday. The rabbi says an apology without atonement is insincere.
First and foremost, real atonement would be a sustained practice of not making the same mistake again.
The rabbi says the real question is, will RFK Jr. and others like him see this as an opportunity to reflect and change? Or when the dust settles, will they continue to lean into the hurtful tropes that minimize the legacy of people like Anne Frank? Mike Valenti, LEX 18 News.